All right, so you grew up here in Toronto.
In Toronto.
You are now in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong and Mumbai.
Yeah, you've traveled a long way to be here. You had read Brother in Hong Kong.
Yeah, I did.
I wanted to ask you what it was like to meet David yesterday. I could see a very, very nice connection between the two of you.
Oh my God, I'm glad that you sense that. I am so sad that he's not here because he also speaks so eloquently about his book, about, what he was trying to achieve through his book. He's just thoughtful and humble and we really connected also because I think we've had slightly similar childhood experiences. Okay, so I grew up on the West End, Etobicoke. And then he grew up in Scarborough. And the book, while it's not strictly speaking biographical, it really is based on people that he's known and, a lot of personal experiences. But there's these really, there was these moments in the book that he's written about that really sort of resonated with me. I'm of a mixed, ethnic background. And that's really, again, a big part of what it means to be Torontonian today. Mm-hmm. But I still remember there was this one, and I don't want to give you the impression also that that Brother is also just a heavy book. Yes, there's a tragedy. It's about loss. It's about so many, serious themes. But it's written about so wittily and beautifully. I still remember there's this great passage describing one of the brothers, Michael. Michael's the younger brother, and he says, "Yeah, I was a little bit culturally mixed up when I was growing up. I kind of." Nobody could figure out whether I had an afro or a hockey mullet. Hockey mullet. And that is so distinctly Canadian. Where else in the world, I question, would you have someone who's confused whether their hair is like, is it afro today or is it hockey mullet? And, for me, that's sort of like, again, the part of the quintessential spirit behind this of capturing something that's very specific that will probably be familiar, but also because it's talking about bigger themes, loss, identity, tragedy, finding your voice, which is something that, to be honest, I think that everybody in this room today will connect with. But it's incredible what happens is that going through something that's very specific will actually help you access the universal. Loss is loss. We have all experienced loss. It's not worthwhile necessarily getting into, sort of a discussion on comparing my loss is worse than your loss because it's what you feel. It's your story. It's your truth. And there's such an important story that he's sharing because this is also a community. I have not seen a lot of Canadian literature that is based in a neighborhood in Scarborough. I don't know, am I wrong?
You're not wrong about you not having seen a lot of literature. I mean, if that's what you're saying about yourself, that is true.
Have you?
I have not.
Has anyone? Like, is there a
Scarborough? Speak for the neighborhood. Is there?
Oh, okay. So besides your Insta stories, which way? Well, okay. So what's your Insta handle? Veronica Chu.
You get a shout out. You get a shout out at Veronica Chu.
I honestly think that there are so many powerful stories within Canada that still need a platform, that still need to be heard, and certain issues that still need to be addressed, that will move us not just to feel for our fellow Canadians, but perhaps move us to action.
David's not here, but we did have a chance to. When you met yesterday, after that, we had a chance to ask him some questions. So we have a clip of that, right, Tara?
Hello, everyone at the Toronto Public Library. I'm really so sorry I can't be here with you tonight. I'm actually giving a talk in Ottawa. I promised to do this months and months ago, so with deep regrets, but with great excitement, here I am. So every time I try to explain what my novel is about, I tell a different story. And so here's the story I'm going to give you today. Brother is about two brothers growing up in a tough suburban context. They've grown up feeling a certain gaze upon them, a certain discomforting gaze, but they've learned to live through this gaze and they're learning how to live with great love and tenderness to themselves and to their family and to others around them. It's a story, I guess, in which loss happens, very difficult loss, but it's also about the everyday beauty of lives afflicted with loss. I guess I'm hoping that readers will learn to look at people and communities that they haven't really looked at in a new light, with greater empathy for people living in those circumstances, and greater awareness of the cities in which we live. When I found out that Lisa Ray was my champion, I was incredibly excited. Honestly, a bit nervous at the same time. She's so thoughtful, she's so accomplished, she's so eloquent on camera. I really think that I lucked out, and I'm really happy that she'll be bringing this book to audiences that I never imagined would read this book.
He's just such an authentic
And I wonder
human
if
being.
one of the most interesting things I heard today, Lisa, you were telling me earlier today at the CBC about your first reaction when you saw the book Brother.
I am so glad you asked me that, because I was actually going to launch into it. So here is actually what I think is the finest testament for the book, okay? So I got the call from the CBC producer. You know, we had a little bit of a chat, you know, sort of what are your reading tastes? And I gave her my take on it. And she said, I think I have the best book for you. And she said, it's called Brother. And I kind of stopped for a minute and I went, Brother? No, I want sister. I want to read something about the sisterhood. I want something that's female-oriented and female-centric, and yeah, sisterhood. Because that is my comfort zone, and that obviously that's, you know, the direction that my reading would normally take in. But, you know, anyways, I said, okay, I'll go along with it. Brother. Oh. And I opened the book. I was opened it very reluctantly. And then I read the first paragraph of the prologue. And the way I have of describing it, it was like someone reached out of the page and took me by the hand and literally pulled me into the book. And by into the book, I mean into that world that I had no interest, I thought, in entering whatsoever. But that is the magic and the power of a beautiful book of prose, that it can take us to places that we never would have anticipated going. And in that, in walking in those footsteps, in living those lives and meeting all the people of that neighborhood, I today am completely a changed person. And I really, really think that anyone who would read this book would remain the same. It will linger with you. It will get under your skin in a way that I guarantee will move you and change you for the better.
Lisa Ray, thank you so much.
Thank you.